Hi, welcome to Arcade Cuties. My name is Faye,
And I'm Cody.
and we have a guest today. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ed, or I Geeked Out.
Thank you for speaking with us today, Ed. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into our topic?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I'm Ed, or I Geeked Out. I'm a queer Mexican digital creator. I primarily stream on Twitch. I also do some K-pop related content over on YouTube and TikTok. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, for sure. So today we're going to talk about Game Boy games, DS games. We're going to talk all about handheld consoles because we all have a ton of experience with them. And so we'll talk a little bit about that, some of our favorite games, and what makes handheld consoles like kind of unique other than the fact that they're portable. Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, it feels like I am much more likely to get invested into a handheld game. I don't know if that's because it's literally like a couple of inches from my face or what, but it's easier for me to like laser focus on a handheld console.
No, I'm the same way, 100%.
Same here, yeah.
I think it's also like when you're playing it, you're not like stuck anywhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want to lie in my bed. I want to sit on the couch. I want to commute with it. And it's not just like, oh my God, my desk chair, I'm sitting like a shrimp and I have to keep playing this PC game.
Yeah.
I know, Cody, you had mentioned that like you used handhelds a lot for like your daily commutes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was some of y'all's first experiences with handheld consoles?
Oh man. Well, my first system was like the Game Boy Color, and I mostly played handheld systems growing up. Like my brother and I would share like the home consoles, but because I commuted to school on the subway every day, like from elementary through high school, because I live in New York. So Fire Emblem, like my favorite games ever. The first one I played was Fire Emblem 7 on the Game Boy Advance in like 2003. And I definitely played the hell out of that. Game & Watch Gallery 3 was my first ever game on the Game Boy Color.
What is that? Is that like the Smash Brothers character?
So, I mean, it's like the original Game & Watch games, which were like really old. And they like remastered collections of them on the Game Boy Color. And like I also had Gallery 4 on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay.
It's very niche. I don't know where my parents found them, to be honest. It was like what they got me. Like when I turned 5, they got me a Game Boy Color with Game & Watch Gallery 3.
Like before GameStop was a thing, I don't remember where video games came from. We used to have like a Game Rhino, as I think what our store was called.
Oh.
And then there was EB Games, which I don't even know if that exists anymore.
It doesn't.
EB
It doesn't.
Games.
EB Games, man. Rest in peace, I think.
Although it's still in Canada, right?
I think it is. I was trying to think of that.
We'll have to see. We'll have to bug Nyrene and see if they have one nearby.
Yeah, our Canadian isn't here to check.
How about you, Ed?
Yeah, so my first console was the Game Boy Color as well. I remember getting it for Christmas.
Yes.
I don't remember how old I was, but I remember it was my first console, and I remember also getting Pokemon Yellow for Christmas, and I literally played that game like for so long. Like I still have my Game Boy Color with me. Like I saved all my handheld consoles because that's really what I grew up on. Like just like everything Nintendo, like the Game Boy Advance SP, the DS, like just everything. So Pokemon and Nintendo just have a special place in my heart. And like I feel like that's why sometimes like my like choice in games are so like different, or I guess not different, but like they sort of lean towards like the kiddier side or like the more fun side, because I know like we were talking about games earlier and I had no idea what games y'all were talking about. And I was like, here I am sitting like, I don't know, because I grew up like on like Pokemon, Mario, like Rocket Power.
Oh, I love Rocket Power.
Like all those like very like campy games. That's what I grew up on, and like I don't know, that's why I always find it so like I always feel so weird talking about like games, because like I just think about like 6-year-old me playing like the Dalmatians game on the Game Boy Color or something.
I mean, I think that's like part of it, because there were so many like licensed games on handhelds, like the Game Boy Advance and everything, I think it was more approachable for, parents or guardians to like recognize properties and be like more comfortable with buying those games for their kids. Because we watched Shrek 2 in theaters, so Shrek 2, the Game Boy Advance game, is probably fine.
Right, yeah. So they need to bring those games back. I need those games. Like,
I mean, there's still a lot of licensed games. They're not good.
Yeah, that's true.
They'd be better if they were on a portable console.
Right.
I miss purely portable systems so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Switch, but it's not the same.
Yeah, for sure.
I've tried to play my Switch like on an airplane before, and I can maybe do like 30 minutes before I start to get like self-conscious about, is anybody watching me play Pokemon right now? Like, I can't.
Oh my god,
can't
but
deal with
think
this.
like when I see someone playing like their Switch on the subway or like in an airport or something, I get really excited and I try to peek and see what game they're playing. So you could make somebody's
too.
day. You don't
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny because like I'm someone that plays like my Switch on like on the plane or the airport, and I've never really been self-conscious about it. Like I'm an introvert, so like I'm usually like very self-aware of what I do, but like I never thought about like having people looking at me play my video games like in public. I guess 'cause I've just done it for so long.
That was definitely a thing that like I dealt with riding the school bus in the mornings. Whenever I had like my first console that lit up, which was the Game Boy Micro.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you would have just like a ton of people like peering over your shoulder, and it's like with the Game Boy Micro, that thing is maybe 4 inches long.
Yeah, the screen is like a few centimeters.
Yeah, so like I don't know, that like overcrowding, I guess, and like people trying to take my console while it was playing it, like, oh, give me a turn. Like,
Oh
I think
god.
Oh god, yeah.
that has built some anxiety in me.
I'm jealous.
That's
I've always
fair.
wanted the Micro.
Oh, the Micro is awesome.
It was so cool. I loved it because it had the little faceplates that you could swap out.
Yeah. I had my flame decal one. Very cool.
Yeah. was it the red or the blue flame?
I had the red flames.
Okay. See, I had the blue one, and I felt very cool with that.
I mean, that's
Blue
even
flames
cooler.
are hotter. Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah, we got the Micros for Christmas one year, and it was interesting because I hopped from my cousins had Game Boy Color, and they had like Looney Tunes and a couple of games for that. My first handheld was probably the first Game Boy Advance because I had like the little Indigo one.
Ooh,
I didn't get an SP, so I had to deal with all the like attachments that come with a
Yes, like
Game
the
Boy
worm light.
Advance.
Do you have a worm
Yeah, I
light?
had a worm light.
yeah.
I had a worm light that my mom was like, turn that off whenever it was like at night and we were driving.
Oh my god. No, that happened to me too.
And so it went from that to getting the Game Boy Micro, which was like so much smaller. It wasn't backwards compatible, but like the fact that it had like multiple levels of brightness that you could play with and stuff. And so I remember spending a lot of time playing the first Batman Begins, the Christian Bale one.
Oh my god.
I played that one. But for the most part, like, yeah, all of my Nintendo stuff was pretty much Pokemon. Like, I had Leaf Green for the Advance. That's where I got my first shiny. It was a Weedle.
Ooh.
And I wish I still had that copy. I went through one of those phases where I like sold all my handheld stuff to get new games.
No.
So now as an adult, I'm like slowly trying to collect that. I put a ton of hours into Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I got a regular DS, and then I didn't get a 3DS until I was like in college, I think. And then in high school, I had like a PSP phase because it seemed edgier and cooler. And I could play WWE on it and let it load for like 5 minutes at a time.
I love my PSP. I feel like I'm the only person I know who liked the PSP Go. Anyone?
I didn't get to mess with that one.
Yeah, I remember my brother having a PSP, but like he would never let me like play it. So I just visually like remember him having it and like me wanting to play it, and that's it. Never getting a chance.
Forbidden.
My friend gave me his old one. It was like the white one, the Darth Vader background.
Ooh.
Like half the buttons didn't work on it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, weirdly, my dad, do you remember when Sony was trying to get into like cell phones?
A little bit.
Kinda.
My dad broke his phone. I think he had like an LG chocolate or something.
Oh my god, I had the chocolate. Best phone ever.
And so they sent him home with like a temporary replacement, and it was this Sony. It was essentially like a cell phone and a PSP. So you would like slide the screen up, and then there were like touch pads that you would use instead of the joysticks, and it came like preloaded with one of the Madden games. But, you know, my dad, he didn't like. My dad has terrible vision, and like can't pay attention to most games, so. He never used the like PSP part of it. So I was like, you're ruining, you're wasting this opportunity, Dad. It's like the reverse of like of those movies where it's like, you're wasting your dream. It's like, no, Dad. I'm wasting your dream.
Reverse
I think I'm like looking at the phone. It looks cool. I don't remember seeing this at the time, but
it's so wild. I don't think it had a very long sale life. I don't remember how long.
I remember this thing.
I remember the Nokia one. That's the one like I like vividly remember, but not the Sony one. I don't know if y'all
I
remember
wanted
that.
it so bad.
It has like Lara Croft right here on this picture on eBay that I'm looking at.
Oh yes, yes, my queen. I want one now, actually. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be fun to like just test it out.
I've totally lost my train of thought. It's gone.
Yeah, same. I can't stop thinking about the Xperia Play.
Let me order one right now.
Yeah, this episode is now about the Sony Xperia Play phone.
That is one of the things that like, because I don't think you would have had to like download games. I don't think it ran off of the cartridges.
I mean, because the PSP had an online store. And, like, the PSP Go was all digital, which was one of the fun things about it.
Mm-hmm. How did y'all carry your games when you were working with the portable?
Like if I had extra games with me, or like...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, if you were going on a road trip and you had to pack, like, a ton of games, what would you keep them in?
Ooh, okay. Can I start? Because
Please, so I'm trying to remember.
I was so obnoxious with this. Okay, so one of my very first cases I remember, it was from my Game Boy Color. I remember going to Toys R Us with my mom, and I remember seeing this like silver. This was at the time Pokemon Silver had just come out, so I remember like this case is like silver and like almost like hollow, but it had Lugia right in the front, and I was like, I need this, Mom, please let me get this. So like she had to get it because I wouldn't, like, otherwise I would just like start crying. Like I was a brat.
Same. Don't worry.
So she ended up getting it for me. I don't know if I still have it. I might have thrown it away, but I remember I would put my Game Boy Color in there, and then like I would stuff like it would only fit for like the Game Boy Color, but I would also like stuff in like the game cartridges in there. Mm-hmm. So I used that, and then I remember this one I still have. I think we were at Sears, and at the time my older brother had just gotten like his first job, so he was being really nice and like buying us things with his first paycheck. And I remember it's like this like metal, like almost like briefcase looking It's so embarrassing because I'm like, it's literally in the drawer next to me. But like why would I want that? But like you could fit your Game Boy Color, your Game Boy Advance SP, and like you had all this space for games and like your chargers. Like I remember it being so expensive and like crying, like asking my brother to buy it for me in Sears. Like
oh,
like,
Sears.
I'm like turning red just because I'm so embarrassed. Because like I'm thinking like I was such a brat when it came. Because like why did I need all these cases and I only just needed one? But I needed my cases to look good. But you know what the funny thing is that like there was points where like I would just forget about my cases and just like whenever we would like go on road trips and stuff, I would just have my I would just hold my Game Boy, and then like the games would be like in my book bag or something. And I remember this one time, I'll never forget, because my mom yelled at me. It was storming, and we were trying to run into the. We were leaving for a road trip, and so we were gonna run into the car. And I remember dropping my Game Boy. And I remember like the water just like taking it away, and it almost fell in the sewer. Thankfully, it didn't. Like, I remember just crying, saying, like, my
that
Game
scene
Boy.
from It. You're just chasing it down the street.
Yeah, Pennywise wanted my game.
He was getting bored down there.
I just remember getting in trouble because mom was like, why do you have all these cases that you can't put them in, can't put your Game Boy in there? And I just remember that because that's when my like copy of Pokemon Gold broke, and
Oh no.
I was sad. Thankfully the Game Boy still works, but rest in peace, Pokemon Gold.
It's tragic.
Pennywise is just down there like, we've got Game Sharks.
You cheater.
I'm like so embarrassed just talking about it.
That's so funny. No, I had the it's essentially I have it right now. It looks like a fanny pack. Like it's got 2 Velcro straps where I guess is where your belt would go. And then the back compartment that opens, it has a zipper. And then the front has a nice another little Velcro guy here. And then I guess you would just stick your games in here and hope that they don't fall out. I've had this thing for forever. But also, like, I was definitely one of those kids who had entirely too many pairs of, like, cargo shorts and stuff. And so, like, my pockets would just be filled with games, pretty much.
Just clacking around full of Game Boy Advance cartridges. Yeah, I think I also just, like, would shove the couple of games I wanted with me into the case, like, into the soft case with my system. Or like somewhere in my backpack or something. But I feel like a lot of the time I would also just be like super focused on one game. And I'd have like my one game in my Game Boy or whatever it was, and then like maybe one other game just in my pocket, like in my jeans. Not thinking about safety or if I'm going to break the cartridge.
Oh, picture.
I just picture like my little briefcase. Like, why would I?
that has big, like, Seto Kaiba vibes.
You're supposed to open that and it has like stacks of hundreds in it, not like a DS.
Like, why did I want this?
Oh my god, it's so big.
Yeah, like I knew I was not gonna like. Even as a kid, I was introverted. So, like, why would I think like I would carry this around in public?
Oh my god, I want one. Bring it to a job, open it like it's a briefcase. It's an old, like an original DS.
That's so funny.
I'm like sweating.
What are your qualifications? Well, you see.
I'm a gamer.
I completed the Pokedex in Diamond version. Here, I can show you.
Right.
That's so funny.
I'm crying.
I love it. I have 2 younger siblings, right? So when we were in our Game Boy phases, we would all usually get like 1 or 2 games around Christmas time, right? Mm-hmm. And it was always the worst when your family members like vaguely knew about your interests, but then got them confused with your siblings. So like your brother might get the game that you actually want and he refuses to give it to you, not because he enjoys it, but because you can't have it. We had to deal with some of that sometimes. I really miss the packaging of Game Boy Advance games.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I love the little cardboard boxes, especially like, I feel like developers had more fun with them and would include like prizes. Like I got a Yu-Gi-Oh game that came with like 3 trading cards and it was super cool. And then they had like the little, what are they called? The things that count your steps.
Oh, pedometer.
Yeah, they had like the Pokemon pedometers.
I remember that thing. Oh my god.
Like the accessories and the attachments for handheld consoles are so ridiculous, but I absolutely love them. Like I love seeing, especially the original Game Boy, where you've got like the comfort grip and the magnifying screen. And
oh my god, I had a comfort grip for my Advance. had like the white Advance with like a white and gray, like it was like a whole back plate for it, and it would like make it more ergonomic. I loved that thing with my worm light.
And then the worm light would have like eventually get too straight, and it wouldn't like go back in the twisty form.
Yeah. Backlit screens are definitely a revelation there. I don't want to go back really.
Right. It's like I could not imagine the benefit that would be. I do have many memories of like, hastily hiding under the covers with my Game Boy with the like light, like ripping it off while my door was being opened or something, pretending to be asleep.
Oh God, yeah. I still remember I didn't often sneak my like games in bed because I honestly was just like tired. But did you guys ever play, what was it, Starfy on the DS?
No, what is that?
Oh my God, the legendary Starfy? No, y'all are missing out. Oh my God. It's like a very Kirby-esque, really, really cute character platformer.
That's so cute.
It's so good. Everyone should play it. It's never too late. But I was like really addicted to it. And that was like the one time I got caught in bed with my DS. I still remember it. My mom came in and she just looked at me and she was like, okay. And she held out her hand and I gave her the DS and I went to sleep.
Oh, the game's actually called The Legendary Starfy. I thought you were just saying Starfy was legendary.
Y'all know Starfy? He's legendary.
No, I mean, I still to this day, like, I did it back then too, but if I have my Switch or whatever and I'm in bed, I will get so absorbed with it that I will like pull up my phone and it's like 2 or 3 a.m. and it's like, I should stop playing. But also, what if I just kept going?
Right.
I mean, who's stopping you? You're an adult now.
That was me with Animal Crossing, like in 2020.
Oh my God. Animal Crossing days.
Yeah.
That's how I got introduced to your stuff, is because I saw all of your Animal Crossing content and I was like, this is super cool.
I need to go back to Animal Crossing. I know my villagers hate me.
They're just shit talking you behind your back right now.
They're trying to get me evicted. Talking to Tom Nook.
I'm so sad. I got the OLED Switch and I didn't transfer my save data and I forgot about it until I loaded up the game and I was like, oh no. I have to restart. It's tragic.
I think the last Animal Crossing I was really into was New Leaf.
I wanted to check that one out, but I just like, I missed that train.
Yeah, I mean, I was into it like, my freshman year of college when it was like out. I don't play it now. So I think it also honestly had to do with like the portable feel. Like I played GameCube one, New Leaf, and New Horizons, but the one that got me the most was the one that was just like pure portable game. They're so addictive.
Yeah. I'm sad. Yeah, I feel like I missed out on the Animal Crossing train, like because New Horizon was my first one, and I remember I bought New Leaf like because it was on sale at Best Buy way before. Like it was like a few months before New Horizons would come out, and I remember opening and playing it for like 2 hours, and then just never playing it again. I know those villagers definitely hate me because I only played it for like 2 hours.
They're like, who's this person even think they are?
Right.
Just like came in and like went into their house and never came back out.
They're like, he just named the town and left. I think I named it like Ooville or something.
Did that one have like a huge emphasis on collaboration and stuff? Because that was like Street Pass era of the DS.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It always made me feel very special when I managed to somehow play a multiplayer game with my friends, like at school or whatever.
Oh my God.
Like we would have, the little corners where you're trading Pokemon and it's like, you better not fucking scam me. Like I want that one that I can't get.
Did y'all ever have to trade with like the cable? Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Or what about the infrared things for like Fire Red and Leaf Green? Do you remember those?
Ooh.
I remember it, but I don't think it came with Leaf Green when I got it. Because I had to keep using the the cord.
Why did I have one of those? Well, anyway, yeah.
It was always fun matching up with people that way. And then we were talking before we started recording, like the DS had that really cool feature, or the very first DS and the DS Lite had a feature where you would essentially create a lobby and someone who owned a game could share it with everybody who was around. I think most of them you could do up to like 4 players, but like my friend had the Beautiful Joe fighting game, I think is what it was. And so you were able to share that game with your friends temporarily while you were all hanging out and play the same game. And so that was really cool. And I feel like it was very accessible because, I mean, we've talked about how expensive games can be even back then. Like, I miss the brief period of time where people were getting over like Game Boy games. And so like stores would have essentially like huge grab buckets that you could just pick whatever and you might get something good.
Oh my God.
Now I'm buying Fire Emblem for like $70.
I think it's so wild.
Games are so expensive.
I went to a store recently. It was like a retro store, and I remember and they had like a bunch of like older games, and I was looking through like the Game Boy game. Like some of these games were selling for like $60 used, and I was like, I'm good.
That always makes me angry at like conventions and stuff when people have, usually Pokemon games for like several $100s, and it's like nobody's gonna buy this, but you refuse to lower the price.
It's so nasty.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, retro game collectors.
Cody, I want to know how you got your little RAM hack.
I was wondering if you were gonna bring that up. Ed, I have like a lot of Game Boy Advance games, like a lot of them, and I was reorganizing my video game shelf a few weeks ago because I got a new shelf. So I sent like Faye and Nyreen a picture of just like all of my Game Boy Advance games laid out. And I didn't say anything. And then Faye immediately noticed that I have multiple hard copies of Pokemon ROM hacks, like on Game Boy Advance cartridges, and was like,
Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know, like, counterfeit Game Boy Advance or Game Boy cartridges were a thing.
That's so cool.
Like,
I was really into eBay for a bit there. I would get, like, and that was one. I think my parents only let me do it, like, the one time, unfortunately. But, like, I would, like, search, like, Pokemon ROM hack lot on eBay, and I just bought one, and it came with, like, 4 games. And they're so bootleg. I actually need to check if any of the cartridges still work. I really want to check that. I'm gonna have to check that tonight.
Sounds cool.
I had like Pokemon like Quartz version or whatever, just like on a cartridge. And then after that, I just got into cartridges that can play many games instead. We'll not elaborate on that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, we had to deal with some of that when I worked at the game store. People would come in with cartridges, and for some of them, it's like, we can't give you a ton, but other ones, we had to have people like validate that they were real. And so like our manager, I remember somebody came in with like a Final Fantasy game and was doing the trade-in, and he happened to like be there. And he was like, "Oh, do you mind if I see that real quick?" He's like, "Yeah, we can't buy this. Like, this is fake. Good luck getting rid of it, though." So I know that, I know some people can tell because, certain games had, like, internal batteries to manage, like, clocks and stuff. But, like, I could never tell unless it was, like, a translucent thing and I was, like, obsessed with the game. That concept seems wild to me. I didn't think it was a thing until, people were able to download games onto their phone or computer, that they were making these edits to the games and modding them.
I definitely ended up with like a fake version of a game once, and like from a GameStop, and it was like super depressing because it was like, it was Fire Emblem again, and I had the most tragic story with my first like Fire Emblem, like my favorite game, where like I was in the middle of it and I was in like the 3rd grade, and then like I pressed something wrong in that way that can happen when you're a kid and deleted my saved file.
Oh no.
And like, so there was a lot of crying, and I obviously did not want to touch the game again for a long time, because it's like losing your save data in a game you've been playing for like days is like, you're like, maybe I'll never think about this again. And then I lost it eventually. And like years later, I'd been looking for it. I found it used at like a GameStop, and it was fake. And then it took me years again and then I finally just played and beat it on my like computer eventually, because I was like, I can't keep looking for this game. I just want to beat it, please. It's like my favorite game. So yeah.
One time I got in trouble because this kid named Logan lent me his copy of Pokemon Silver, and it was like close to the end of the school year. And he was like, yeah, you can just, give it back whenever. And so like I didn't. And then I think we had one of those like, childhood friendship ending arguments where it's just like, well, I'm not going to talk to you. And then the school year ended. So, I still have this Pokemon game that I'm playing at home. My mom comes back from getting her haircut done, and she's like, do you have a copy of Pokemon Silver? I was like, yeah, why? And she said, my hairdresser had some very interesting words for me today, and you need to give that back now. She's like, I was so embarrassed. I'm trying to get a haircut, and this woman starts lecturing me because her shitty kid missed his copy of Pokemon.
Oh my god.
If you're listening, Logan, I still remember.
Logan.
I definitely did have a version of Pokemon that, like, for whatever reason, every time you started up the game, it would delete the save file.
Oh, God.
So I do remember, like, desperately playing for several hours and, like, trying to swap over the batteries before it could die just so I could, make progress and stuff. That's the most like Indiana Jones I've ever felt. And just like swapping the batteries out before the thing can die.
Wow, we really went through it with games, huh?
Right.
It was rough. It was rough. We had to walk 5 miles in the snow uphill back and forth just to turn up the volume on our games.
Little volume wheel.
I was just thinking, like, I got really lucky with my games, like, cause especially like with Silver and Gold, because at the time, like when they came out, my parents couldn't afford them. But somehow, so my mom used to work at a hotel, so she was a housekeeper, and I guess someone like left their like 2 copies of Silver and Gold in that hotel room. So I got really lucky. Yeah, I'm like looking at packaging and everything right now because we were talking about packaging, and I just remembered like this, like the way like my mom came home from work one day and like she just handed me like the 2 copies of Silver and Gold, and I was like, oh my god.
Aww,
I feel sorry really for that sweet kid who like
yeah, that sucks for that.
But like I got lucky. Sucks to suck. No, I'm kidding.
Like probably had their parent call the hotel and be like, can you check the room like one more time? Like,
right,
we can come back.
No,
we're actually outside the hotel.
It's like, oh, sorry, nothing in there. Bye.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We were talking about like some of our favorite games. Did y'all have any just like not even super good games, but really weird ones that you couldn't stop playing?
Ooh, yeah. Let me see if I can get the full name. It was the Rocket Power one. Is the one that I talked about earlier.
Okay. Or just like a Tony Hawk ripoff, kind of.
I don't like. It was just full of like mini games. Like I don't even remember. Okay. Let me see. It was for the Game Boy Advance, or no, the Game Boy Color. Yeah, it was just full of like a bunch of like mini games. I don't know. Like I remember playing it like for weeks and like months even. Like, but I don't remember like the whole premise of it. I'm gonna send y'all some like screenshots.
This is a tangent that that is just like flashing into my brain right now. Do y'all did you own any of the Game Boy Advance like video players that had like episodes of the Fairly Odd Parents or Pokemon?
I had one.
I'm like vaguely remember those.
I was obsessed with those, and like I could never justify getting it because I would always, you couldn't pick which episode, so you'd have to like hope it was one of the good ones. Now my brain is like spiraling thinking about video clips.
Oh my god.
My cousin had one of those. It was like a portable CD player with a very tiny, like 1-inch screen, and it played it played the most pixelated grayscale. She had the Band Geeks episode of SpongeBob.
I mean, if you're gonna have one episode,
If you're gonna have one, it's gotta be that one. I do remember us just like all sitting in the bed surrounding this tiny machine and trying not to like bounce it too much so that it wouldn't skip or whatever.
my god, I didn't have that, but I do have Final Fantasy Advent Children on Universal Media Disc for the PSP. I got it to like when my family went to China when I was like 11. I got it for like the plane because it was like the longest plane flight. So my parents let us buy like a few like video games and stuff because we were 11 and 13 and had never been on a plane for that long. And I had Advent Children. I already had it on DVD, but also got it on PSP media disc.
There's something very powerful about like being a child and realizing you can just have a movie or TV show on the go. Like, do I necessarily like Drillbit Taylor? No, but did I buy it for my iPod Nano? You better fucking believe I did.
God, yeah, that was so fun, dude. And now I guess it's pretty normal to be able to have a video on the go.
Right. I know eventually it reached a point where we just like would not buy the UMDs at stores because we just had too many of them. We have too many copies of Benchwarmers. Please take it somewhere else.
No one's gonna buy this from us. Please do not try to sell it here.
I think some of the like weirder games that I really enjoyed. I did actually have Shrek 2 because we had like a reading point system at my school where you could like redeem your points at the end of the year and get stuff. And so I just put Game Boy Advance game on one of mine because I had like the highest score in the school.
Just a soft
brag.
flex, yeah.
It was wild because they got me like a camping tent and like
What?
2 Game Boy games, and yeah, I don't know how the school had budget for this.
What?
They just
What
really-
grade? What grade were you in? What?
This was in, I think 2nd grade, probably.
Wow.
I think 2nd grade. So yeah, Shrek 2 for the Game Boy Advance is actually very good because you could play as the different characters. Like you could play as Shrek and Donkey and Puss in Boots. And I remember doing the boss fights on those. I had a Lilo and Stitch game that I was absolutely hooked on for the longest
hell yeah.
time. Where you just had to rescue Lilo from oh gosh, Gantu, is that his name? The giant
I think so.
fish man. I had a actually my brother had it. I stole it from him. Lord of the Rings, like the Fellowship of the Rings, is weird, like turn-based grid style
What? That sounds awesome.
RPG. And it would always like the game would freeze every time you got to like a certain point of it, and there was just like no progressing. So I remember like trying very desperately to like get to that point over and over again and hope that it saved and would let me continue. And it was just, there was no dice.
It's wild that stamina that kids have to like know they're never gonna finish something. Like me with my like only having volume like 1 and 2 of Tokyo Mew Mew as a kid and just like reading them over and over and over again, just like content that I would never know how it ended. It's like these are the ones that I bought at like Forbidden Planet, so I'm just gonna read them like 50 times.
The Game Boy was actually where I got introduced to Kingdom Hearts for the first time too, because they had Chain of Memories.
I love Chain of Memories.
I never played, but I saw people play it.
And my cousin had it, and he was visiting, and so he let me play it for a little bit, and I had like no clue what was going on, but
Well, that's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
is it Chain of Memories?
Yeah, the one with the cards.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
card-based ones.
The one
I
that
was
ruins your L and R buttons because you just mash them for the entire game.
Yeah, I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, so I was like, I can figure this out, like no problem. And then he started me off like in the middle of the game, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this.
I had SpongeBob Lost Spatula on Game Boy Color that I was really into and never beat because it was too hard for me. But like, I don't know why I had it, where it's from. It's like a Game Boy Color cartridge with no sticker on it too. And like my most vivid memory of it, and like this is slightly dark, but like not really. But like when my grandma died when I was younger, and we were sitting Shiva. It's a Jewish thing. But so we spent like a week basically spending hours of every day for a week, like in my grandma's apartment. And while the adults were in the front room, like doing actual kind of Shiva stuff and like talking and sitting around, all the kids were just like be in their old bedroom, like watching TV and like trying to behave and stuff. And I just like had that game with me during it for whatever reason. And like all of us were trying to play it. And like it was a very hard children's game. But I'm still bad at it.
The port they did for PS2 and later consoles helped a lot, I feel like, with that one.
That was Battle for Bikini Bottom, right? Did they do Lost Spatula on more than one system?
Wait, which one am I thinking of?
I don't know if Lost Spatula ever really saw the light of day after the Game Boy Color.
I might be confusing it with like like one of those direct like plug and play things for the TV.
Oh my god, those. Here's
yeah.
a screenshot from Lost Spatula.
Why?
Cursed SpongeBob, everybody. All I want is Krabby Patty.
The Chumbug.
It looks like something somebody made in like Mario Paint. That's wild.
This is what games looked like, guys. We played these.
I love that. I want this game.
It's honestly iconic.
Sorry, the Chum Bucket one. All I want is Krabby Patty.
And when you got hurt, like his lives were measured in like he'd have his clothes, and if you got hurt once, he'd just be in his stupid little underwear. And then if you got hurt again, he'd die. So no naked SpongeBob for the purse.
Yeah.
But oh wait, actually,
I mean,
I lied.
what?
I lied. There is naked SpongeBob. Here you go. There you go.
Please. Why does it look like Doodle Bob?
Life imitates art. Imitates art. I don't.
That's so funny. Oh my
I'm
God.
crying.
So clearly, I had great taste in games.
I love that. I feel like I'm missing out.
It's never too late to play SpongeBob SquarePants Lost Spatula and the Game Boy Color.
How much is that one on eBay? Like $500?
Oh my god, right? Let's see. It's really not worth anything, I think, but that's not how eBay. Oh wait, no, it's like literally $6. It's not a good game. No one wants it. Oh my god, yeah, it's literally $6 on eBay.
I'm dead.
That's wild.
Oh my god, this person's selling it for $2.50. Like $2.50.
Let me buy that.
I was like, why were we playing it? It literally came out in 2001, and my grandma died when I was in like middle school, so I don't know why this is what I brought to, because I was in first grade when this game came out, so I don't really know what was going on there. But clearly a great game.
Someone's selling it for $75 with the box still intact. Very tempting. I'm sorry, I just can't stop saying it.
No, it's okay. I'm also looking at the nude SpongeBob.
I'm sorry I made this about SpongeBob
I
Lost Spatula.
hate how he's looking at me.
He's embarrassed.
Did you get into the DS as much as the Game Boy, or did you have kind of like a falling off point?
Yeah, I remember this one. So yeah, I got this one. My brother actually gifted this one for Christmas. I got the silver one, and then I forgot. I think I accidentally charged it with my my SP charger, and like the touchscreen ended up breaking. And then so like it was brand new too. It was like probably like a month or something, like around that time when I broke it. And at the time, like that blue one had just come out, and so like they thankfully they let me trade it in, and I ended up getting the blue one. But I'm trying to remember like what games I played for this one.
I know when I got my DS Lite, I had the Wario Paint one where he's like a jewel thief.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my cousins always got like consoles and games first, so a lot of stuff that I would play would be like after they got bored with it. So I know my cousin was super into The Sims on their DS. The one that's like, I think it takes place in a desert and you're managing a hotel or something like that. And your people can get abducted by aliens.
Classic.
Ooh. I used to play a lot of like, I'm looking at the covers. I remember having like the new Super Mario Bros. Like, what else? I think this is like around the time where I stopped like playing because I was like in that age where like I'm too old for video games. I remember Pokemon Diamond being my last Pokemon game for a while, and then just never playing my consoles again. And I think at that point I had switched to like the PlayStation or something because that was cool. But I was playing like the Fairly Odd Parents, Breaking the Rules. I'm too old for the Game Boy. Plays Fairly Odd Parents on PlayStation.
If it's on PlayStation, that means it's cool.
Yeah.
It's for big kids.
God, y'all don't know how much I love the DS and the entire DS family.
Please tell me
It's
all
like my
about
entire
your love
life.
of it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just like, right now I'm literally like laying out a bunch of my DS cartridges on my desk to like look at them. I have my DS Lite in my lap, my original one actually. Well, I had the DS Lite, and then of course like 3DS, 2DS, 3DS XL, new 3DS XL, and new 2DS XL, because I have a problem. That's all my allowance for my entire childhood. I don't know. I think this is what I played the most, because like I remember Diamond and Pearl coming out, and I was like decorating my 6th grade like art sketchbook for art class with pictures I printed out straight from Cerebi, like waiting for them to come out. And middle school is when I started commuting like just like with my brother, and then the 8th grade I just commuted to school alone. So I just spent like every single commute back and forth, and my commute was like 30 to 40 minutes a day because I lived like 200 blocks away from my school, like just playing DS. So like my favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger, which I played on the DS. Best RPG ever. I played a lot of Elite Beat Agents. Do you guys know?
Yeah,
Elite
it's like
Beat
the
Agents?
rhythm one.
It's like an Osu game, but
That's the one where the girl's dad dies and you have to like perform a song well to give her
in life after love?
to get her
I
a teddy bear, or else she's just sad on Christmas Day.
No, dude, you make her like the ghost of her father come and say goodbye to her one last time as a Christmas present. It actually makes me cry. I was at my friend's Bachelorette's party literally like 2 days ago, and we were doing karaoke, and somebody put on like, you know, that song, Do You Believe in Life After Love? And like I was actually getting emotional, and like I didn't want to say anything, but it was because of a rhythm game, a goofy rhythm game on the DS that I played every single commute for like 3 years or something. Yes, that is in there.
The only downside to the DS was just that, and the Wii, honestly, was that there was so much shovelware that it was hard to find like really good games and not feel like you were getting ripped off. Especially like, you know, I wasn't making money, so like if I got Spot the Difference version 7, like I couldn't be like, this game sucks, like please take it back. But yeah, there's just I don't know what it was. Because I definitely had a falling off point from handheld stuff. And then I don't think I really got back into it until I bought my 2DS like after college, and then the Switch came around, and it was like the only thing I was playing for a while.
Man, no, like I think my brother and I were pretty lucky because not only did we take our games like very seriously, but like our parents kind of understood that they shouldn't be the ones buying us our games. You know what I mean? Like for a present, it wouldn't be like, oh, I went to GameStop and bought you some random game I thought you'd like. It was like, for Christmas, like, we're gonna either you asked us for a specific game and we got it for you, or like we're gonna go to GameStop together and you can each pick out one game. So like we only bought games we wanted. So like the games I'm looking at right now, I don't think I have like actually any shitty DS games somehow. So maybe that's also part of why I liked it so much, because I've just got like Ace Attorney, Digimon World, Pokemon, Touch Detective,
There's some solid hits
Professor
on there for
Layton,
sure.
Kirby, right?
Like, I'm looking at my games now, like for my DS. Like some of these I don't even remember playing. Like I have Mario Hoops 3-on-3.
Oh my god.
I remember playing Mario Kart.
Oh my
DS a
God,
lot.
yes.
Like I said earlier.
Oh,
Super
that
Mario
was a
Bros.
great
Is one of my
game.
favorite, but like, then I'm pretty sure these are like my little brothers that I just took because I want them for like a collection. But like Diddy Kong Racing, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, and Need for Speed. Like I literally have nothing but like recollection of playing those games.
Oh my god, I think I had Need for Speed Carbon on Game Boy Advance.
And then apparently I also had Shrek 2 for the
Oh.
Game Boy Advance. I just don't remember playing.
See?
How could you forget such a game?
I know, Fiona.
Such a baddie.
It's because you can't play as her. That's why.
I was so busy with Cosmo and Wanda on the PlayStation 2.
You're too busy being cool.
Yeah.
I really want to get the Analog Pocket.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because that seems so cool. I remember I had a friend growing up who had the little Game Boy adapter for his GameCube. And so, you could play it on the TV that way. And now you can do it with a new console. And it's like HD and super fancy.
Ooh.
I really want one. I don't know if I'll ever get one. I don't know what the wait list looks like for that at this point.
Yeah, it just feels not possible.
Probably a little more difficult than getting a Steam Deck right now, since they're like an independent company.
Yeah, I don't know. The Steam Deck, I signed up for the pre-order list like when it first released and just like kind of waited and eventually got it.
I remember like logging on to Steam and seeing like, oh, your Steam Deck is ready. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I got so excited. Because one of my community members in my Discord, like she's like the only person I know who got like basically the first or second wave of them. So she's just been like playing it and having a great time for a couple months now, and I've just been like, give me, please.
When is it my turn?
Please. And now I'm like, I can't stop it. I'm like ruining my life because I can't put it down. So that's a nice feeling.
I ended up getting like motion sickness playing it, and so I haven't played it for like a week or two. But I was obsessed with it like when I first got it.
That's funny because I feel like it gives me less motion sickness than playing on my PC or TV does.
I think it's just like the game, because I was playing. I don't know if y'all heard of Omno. There's this part where like you have to surf, like. So like I guess just the motion made me sick because I was like laying down. But
Yeah, that's
I've
fair.
really been enjoying the Steam Deck. Surprisingly, like it's not as heavy as I thought it would be, but I'll get back to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit of a wrist workout holding mine. It's like holding like 4 switches at once, and I've got really, really tiny, pathetic wrists.
After a while, after a couple like hours of playing Hades, I definitely have to like grab my wrist brace.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
'cause
just had
it's
to stop
button
playing
mashing.
Hades one day, which made me so sad, but like it was killing me. Like it was actually killing my body, that game. And I was just thinking, because I was playing it on Switch and now I'm enjoying my Steam Deck so much, I'm like, oh, maybe next time it's on sale, I'll like, get it on Steam and I'll play on my Steam Deck. And I'm like, no, it's just gonna hurt more. Like, please don't do that to yourself.
I don't know. I've heard such good things about the Steam Deck so far. I've even seen someone. Apparently, you can download an app to do remote play for your like PS4 or PS5. So you can play your PS4 or 5 games on your Steam Deck, like through the internet, which seems wild to me.
It does like it's like an extremely competent system. I'm really into it. It's like got me excited about playing games in a way that I haven't been, I think, since like honestly the portable system days. Like it's like this like both like joy and addiction. Like I feel like I don't really get that as much with like my PC and console games, really, because I just get like kind of bored and tired of sitting there. But like with this, I'm like, oh, I'm tired of sitting on the couch because my back hurts, so let me just go lie in bed and play it instead.
Right. It makes me want to play games that like I typically wouldn't play like on my PC. Like for instance, like Horizon Zero is the game that like everyone's been like wanting me to play, and I'm like, I don't think it's for me. But like now that like I have access to it being portable, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a chance.
Right?
I've only been playing I've only been playing Omno on my Steam Deck, just because again I have a very like weird like taste in games, and so like I'm really picky. So I don't know. It gets me excited because like it makes me want to play any game that's available. So maybe I'm gonna become an actual gamer one day.
My God, we won't have to edit it to make it sound like you're a gamer.
Right. That is the other like super nice thing about portable systems, especially now. I know I was talking about like being laser focused when I was a kid, but the thing that's nice about it is that now I can multitask with stuff. So, you know, I can have a TV show or a movie going in the background if I want to play on my Switch. Or like I saw this on Twitter the other day and I was like, yes, this thing exactly. If y'all have heard about like separate play. So the idea is like you're hanging out with somebody in the same room, but you're not necessarily like engaging in activities together, which is very nice. Like I still get that sense of like quality time and bonding, even if we're not like, you know, directly talking or playing the same game or whatever. Like that part is super nice.
Yeah, I love parallel play. It was like my entire like growing up, like it was like my main way of hanging out with friends. And also even in college, a main way of hanging out with friends. It's just like my favorite.
I'm also very excited to get the Persona games coming to Switch finally, because that was a whole era of like PSP that I just like did not get into. And I know people rave about Persona 4 Golden.
It's so fun. That was my first Persona. There's some things that are dated about it, but it's like a phenomenal game, and I love it a lot.
I'm sure. What do y'all think the future of handheld games will be?
Oh.
Ooh.
It's interesting because it's like we're talking about like how, you know, like the kind of, I guess the modern ones right now, handheld systems are the Switch and the Steam Deck, which are like, you know, they're not the most portable things ever. The Steam Deck is pretty massive. But like, and you still get the, like, you can take it on a plane with you. You can play it on your couch, like that kind of whatever. But like, there's still like less of the charm of the games in that way. Like they don't, you know, I'm playing a game that I'm loving, but it's like it's not a portable game. I'm just playing it portably.
Right.
So it feels almost like portable games are dead, but then also there's all these possibilities for them.
Like it's more about the hardware and like showcasing what each individual console can do.
Yeah, and I almost feel like the limitations of the portable systems are part of what made those games so special. Like there's plenty of like indie games like inspired by those games, because that's what all like these developers grew up on, like with the pixel graphics and like the smaller scale. So I've been hoping that like playing some of those on Steam Deck will give me the feel of like, you know, a PC game that almost feels like a portable game, but finally playing it portably, it'll like kind of give me that feeling again of like portable games from when we were younger.
Oh yeah, like playing Shovel Knight or, you know, any of the Shantae games like kicks ass for that reason.
Yeah,
they feel very good on a portable system. And we didn't even get into it, but I guess you could classify like mobile games.
Oh, I play a lot of mobile games
in that same field. My only problem with that is that like I am never going to pay for a game in the App Store, and so like most of the stuff that I get is free to play, and then it becomes a battle of like whether or not I will do like the in-game currency or whatever, which I'm not bad about now. I'm very good about not spending money on those games, but you know, when I was in high school or, you know, my first couple years of university, I maybe spent too much on like Marvel Contest of Champions.
Oh, that's a bad one too.
Yeah.
That one was rough. I understand though. I've been playing gacha games a lot for like the past few years, and they're kind of dangerous. I'm definitely a dolphin in some games, which is less than being a whale. It just means I spend a slightly irresponsible amount of money in them instead of a very irresponsible amount of money in them.
No, I've stopped spending money on Pokemon Go, so I'm good.
What is there even to spend money on in that game?
You gotta buy, if you don't have a lot of Pokestops, you have to like buy the Pokeballs, and then you gotta expand your storage so you can carry more Pokemon.
I'm so sorry.
And if you want to customize your character and get cool outfits, like, yeah, I want the little goth outfit. That's pretty cool. How much is that? Like $5? Yeah, I guess I can fork over $5. It's just the one time, right? It's not just the one time. Oh, do you want to participate in this exclusive event? That'll be $10, or you can try to keep your Pokemon in a gym for multiple weeks and only get 50 coins at a time. Anyways, hi.
You sound jaded. You sound a little jaded there.
It's a bad system. I know why they do it, but it's bad.
Yeah, that's a little.
I just remember why I stopped playing. It's because I live in the middle of nowhere, so I remember having to pay for like Pokeballs and stuff.
That's so shitty.
When Pokemon Go came out, I was working at a summer camp. So we had like 2 or 3 monuments at the camp that were Pokestops and like one that was a gym. During the week, there was just like nothing to do except catch the same like Pidgey and Rattata. It was abysmal. And then you would see like somehow somebody had like a level 50 like a pincer or something. It's like, how did you even get what?
Yeah.
Like we're on the same grounds and playing the same amount of time. Like, how did you do this? But that's okay, because I was one of the cool staff who got to ride around in a golf cart, so I got to hatch eggs faster.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
That's how you do it.
Although you'd have to monitor it, because if you started going too fast, it would do the, like, are you in a car? So we would have to...
You just start slowing down.
Yeah, we'd have to go at, like, half speed.
Like creeping around the golf cart.
But yeah, I don't know if I have much else to add about the topic, other than like, you know, there are so many weird games and so many like licensed titles that I am very grateful for having played.
Oh yeah, right? Like Aladdin on the Game Boy Color, that was a bad one. That was a bad game. I have oh my god, like Cheetah Girls on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh my god, I'm jealous.
It's like hilariously bad.
Do you have the Lizzie McGuire one?
I don't, which, you know what? If my girlfriend knew that was a game and that I didn't have it, they'd be very upset with me. I literally have Cheetah Girls because it was like back like when GameStop was in like a couple phases of GameStop ago, before it was like whatever is going on right now. They like would have the case of all the used Game Boy Advance games. And at my local GameStop, this one copy of the Cheetah Girls was just there for like years. So one year for my birthday, my friend got it for me and was like, and he just sat there and he was like, okay, now play it. Play it right now while I watch you. And I was like, no, please don't make me. They don't make them like that anymore.
I'm gonna go look for it now.
I have like a whole list of DS games that Cody has recommended to me, which I gotta hop on acquiring before they close the market in March.
Oh god, yeah. There's some, oh my god. If anyone ever wants to talk about any of the DS family, which I know is like part of what we were doing now, but just like oh my god, I love the DS so much. I have so many of them and they're my babies.
We're gonna have just a special episode that's gonna be titled like Cody's monologue, and it'll just be like 2.5 hours of unedited, like just pure passion from Cody.
Just gonna like have all my like games and systems in front of me and just like ramble about them, stream of consciousness. Like, oh man, I remember Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland was my first action, in quotes, game that I was brave enough to play because I was too scared to play anything other than Animal Crossing as a kid.
No, I think it's funny that we have all like without prompt have gathered our handheld consoles and titles and like have them splayed
just
out
like
in front of us,
stroking my DS Lite.
Just as a point of reference, like that makes me very happy.
They're very comforting.
They are.
Did y'all have any final talking points that you wanted to hit?
Talking about like all these games, I've been like going on eBay and wanting like all the Oh my god, I just saw the Cheetah Girls on Google. But
it's really bad.
But like, I want the Cheetah Girls.
End of podcast.
But it makes me want to like collect the other games that I had as a kid that I lost. Like, okay, so like I've been for months now. I saw it started with TikTok. It was this person who ended up creating like these 3D printed cassette inserts for your Game Boy cartridges, and he ended up printing or making like these like Pokemon Yellow, Gold, Silver cassettes, and like inside it is the game cartridge, and I was like, I want that for my collection. So just like I'm like going through eBay and like Etsy, just seeing like what people are selling now. Like I'm spending money after that.
Like honestly, it can be kind of hit or miss. But if you go to Shop Goodwill, it's like eBay, but it's Goodwill. So like you can bid on stuff. Sometimes they'll have games and titles there for like super cheap. And they'll do like lots. So you could get like a set of like 5 Game Boys or DSs or whatever. Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really
That's
neat.
awesome. I had no idea.
It's very dangerous.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh yeah.
I had to stop myself from I put a bid on Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and it was sitting at $50 and I was like, oh god, I hope somebody outbids me, like I can't be doing this right now. and then I got the email notification and I was like, but what if but what if I threw one more dollar there?
Okay.
This is cool.
Y'all, for $25, you can get 12 copies of Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Oh my god. Oh, this is so dangerous. You should have waited until after I got married to tell me about this.
Hey.
Oh.
I'm like just scrolling through it now.
Me too.
Cute girls.
Everyone,
no, what was it?
Everyone get their own
What was
copy of SpongeBob Lost Spatula and report back to me.
This has been super fun. Thank you again, Ed, for talking with us. Like, I had so much fun.
Thank
going
you.
on this little like memory road trip.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun too. I'm like still red from like my embarrassing stories of like the suitcase, my little metal briefcase that I wanted like at 10 years old.
I love it. We'll have to like post that to our Twitter or something.
put you on full blast immediately.
No, yeah, but yeah, seriously, thanks y'all. I had a lot of fun just talking about video games and
So fun.
It's all good. Do you have anything that you want to plug before we close out?
just that I stream on Twitch. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I was gonna say I played a lot of cool games, but I literally only play like Dead by Daylight. I at one point used to be like a variety streamer where I play like a bunch of like indie games and like Dead by Daylight. But like now I've just been hooked on DVD and Fortnite, and yeah, that's really it. You can follow me on Twitch, or if you like K-pop, you can follow me on YouTube or TikTok. It's all at I Geeked Out.
Yeah, do that. That is wonderful. And I love seeing your reactions. I love when you do the it's not even unboxings. You just like go through your cool collection of like records and CDs and stuff.
Yeah, I spend a lot of money on like CDs and records and video games. It's so bad.
No, I just want to talk to you about K-pop now, but that is not relevant to this podcast.
Oh my god, yes, let's do it.
I'm very into K-pop.
Heck yeah. Okay, and to close us out, we always come up with a catchphrase. So Ed, would you like to do the honors? What's the last thing that people are going to hear?
Oh god. Wait, what do we do?
We've never done a good job at it, don't worry.
Just any catchphrase, just off the top of your head.
My catchphrase, I'm going back to the Cheetah Girls. You gotta strut like you mean
it. Beautiful.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hey cuties, thanks for listening to our podcast. If you liked this episode of Arcade Cuties, be sure to let us know by leaving a review on iTunes, sharing the show with a friend, and leaving a suggestion for future episodes. Make sure to follow us on our social media to stay up to date with our content. We appreciate all of the love and support. Until next time, bye cuties!